was your toga, at your stat, got play your role. I was OT, all shutting down shows from A to B, long way to go. About time they know about me. Hello, the jiggle and clap, jello. I've been on top, where they at? Below. Presidential flow, Marilyn Monroe. I got pounds, got euros, stacking them both.
Why would I hold a man for ransom when my scope like Richard Branson? Since the basement making anthems over seasons with the man, then black is teasing with my panthers. Pretty girl, she think I'm handsome, just coasting through these mantras. I'm not bossing, I'm advancing, keep it moving, trying to be on before below. Wanna be intimate with soul, explode this war before I go. And that's some hours in my bench brain. I was like worth for 10K, all cause it is 10 gamers. Been insane in the membrane since them days where we raved for 3 days and 4 nights and took them red eye flights, hot straight off the plane and through the back door of the place. Then I stepped on stage, they were like, see the crowd going ahead, they were like, so I stepped on stage, they were like, ooh yeah, see the crowd going ahead, they were like, ooh yeah. Courageous, raised by some Zulu lions, taught to seek dangers, brave and defiant, boy, the Lord was doing favors, blaze through the fire, yeah, we had a few, lost a few wages, still coming rampant, misbehavior, flavors, still coming anti-up, rebelling with my ravers, still don't give a about who be the latest, can't be locked up in them cages, start living up to what the you think of days.
But hey, what about it?
So I stepped on stage, they were like, see the crowd going ahead, they were like, so I stepped on stage, they were like, ooh yeah, see the crowd going ahead, they were like, ooh yeah,
Today, from Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, Florida, it's Week 3 of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Tua Tagovailoa and the Miami Dolphins taking on Russell Wilson and the Denver Broncos.
From beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Today it's Week 3, and we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the Denver Broncos taking on the Miami Dolphins. Charles Davis. Charles, you look at the Dolphins as they enter play in this one. It's an early test here after 2 losses to start the season, and a game they probably really need.
Obviously, no way do they want to get to 0-3. Not many teams make the playoffs with that kind of a start.
2 weeks have come and gone. It's off to Week 3, and we're underway on EA Sports. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Now, Tua Tagovailoa gets set to lead this Dolphins offense for the first time.
And I saw that he had an interesting quote in the research packet that we had after last week's game. It's all on me now. I've got to lead my team and find a way for us to win a game. 0-2, but they're at home. I guess he's going to try and find a way to get the home crowd involved early.
They'll start here with Gaskin. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. A good start. One play, 10 yards.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and turn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Now the rookie third-round pick, it's Devon Achane. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, second down. Achane here, they stay on the ground. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6. This defense for the Broncos, very strong last week as they helped their squad improve to 2-0 on the young season.
And that's not the half of it. They forced 7 turnovers in that game, and I know we always talk about turnovers coming in bunches once you force the first one. But 7? That seems almost impossible, but we watched it happen.
So on 4th down, here's Jake Bailey to punt for the Dolphins. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Well, the Broncos offense gets set to go to work, and at the helm in his second season wearing orange and blue, Russell Wilson.
And for how good he is throwing the ball, it's his running that makes him so dangerous. He had a couple of touchdowns on the ground in last week's game, so we'll see what they dial up for him for this one.
Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. That is incomplete.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Jerry Judy, his 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Broncos get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big streak like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. So Miami coming out for their second drive. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. Here's Achane to start the drive. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
2nd down and 4. Tua going to hand this to Gaskin. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. And going deep for Hill. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And the Broncos are going to get it back here just past the 35. So problems with errant passing continuing. Remember, he threw 2 picks in the loss last week and now another here in this first quarter.
And sometimes, partner, this is the result of a quarterback who's simply trying to do too much. Feels like he's trying to make up for what he did last week, and you can't do it all on one throw.
After the interception, here's Wilson. Dancing to his left. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete. But the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. So a costly penalty yardage-wise as that'll move the football down to the spot of the foul.
And what the officials are looking for in these situations, whether you're playing the man or the ball. And if you're playing the man, you get a lot less leeway.
And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Russell Wilson, a 22-yard scamper. And the Broncos are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
And that's a sight we feel like we've seen a lot over his career. But remember, for Russell Wilson, 3 in his first year as a Bronco last year and only 15 in the last 8 years. But he still knows how to use those wheels when necessary, and he takes care of business right there.
Marr on for the extra point. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And he returns this to the 22. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. Let's see if they can do better here on this drive. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And it's second down. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. On play action, here's Tua. A short throw there, that's to Smythe, the tight end. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 4. And 3rd and 1 now. When you look at this Bronco defense, well, they were very strong in that victory from a week ago.
They forced 7 turnovers.
How many?
7.
7.
I mean, think about that number now. That's supposed to be a lucky number, right? Lucky for one side, unlucky for the other.
They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
And space tough to come by there as they'll get maybe a yard to the 37. Now 2nd and 9. Now Tua. A short throw. This is caught by Cox. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
And he lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. And hopefully for both sides, not a sign of things to come, Charles. This morning, it was so perfect outside, but we knew this weather was coming, and we see the effects of it here early on.
And I wonder if how perfect it was this morning has psychologically fooled everyone. You know, it's almost like even though we were told the weather was coming, and you know the teams knew it as well, that maybe they got fooled and thought, it's going to be okay. And now they're probably a little upset that it's out there.
Because warm-ups were dry.
Oh, well, dry. Now you've got to make the change up, and it's the first quarter. Might take them a little time to settle in on their focus and concentration.
Got a man, it's caught. It's inside the 10. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Jerry Jeudy. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Broncos have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Boy, still in the first quarter, and look out. I mean, they are on pace for over 80 points in this game. I don't know that they'll get there, CD, but this has been impressive to watch so far.
That certainly would be history in the making, wouldn't it, partner? I'm glad we're here to actually watch and see if it actually happens, although, like you, I have my doubts, but they are firmly in control of this game.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that makes the score 21-0. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Miami set to take over. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from
to a hit, and the ball is out. It's picked up by the Broncos. And they'll be inside the red zone with a ball at the 16-yard line.
Hey, I'm all about defense forcing plays and getting takeaways. But an interception and 2 fumbles in their last 3 offensive possessions.
Time to readjust?
Yeah, you can't just give all the credit to the defense on that. They've got to look in the mirror and take a blame themselves and figure out how to not do it anymore.
And the focus shifts back to Jerry Jeudy and his Bronco teammates. He has certainly made the most of his catches so far, both of them going for touchdowns here in half number 1.
And we've never met a team that doesn't talk about getting off to a fast start and featuring guys that they want to have the ball early. We're seeing both of those come into play here. Off to an incredible.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Russell Wilson, a 16-yard touchdown run. And the Broncos are able to add on to that lead.
This is a great decision right here. Out of the pocket to his left, and he knows if he waits too long, the defense is going to be all over him. So he makes a decision to go and wins the race to the pylon.
Marr now to add the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only 1 play to score it. So this not what we expected. 28-0 here in the first as another kickoff is away. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Miami's offense set and ready to go. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. The drive starts with a run from Achane. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Second down and a yard. Again, it's Achane. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. Second quarter from Miami. It's the Dolphins with the football. The Dolphins on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Tua sets up to pass it. Tua hit, and the ball is out. Second time in this game, Charles, the ball has squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled?
A nice return that time, gets 12 yards back. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. So here are the Broncos to take over on offense. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. Wilson out to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. Touchdown, Broncos. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Broncos are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. 1 play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. No return here for Wilson. It's a touchback. It'll come out to the 25. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. And his throw's going to be incomplete. We saw a lot of that a week ago defensively from him. AFC Defensive Player of the Week. Just always seems to be around the football.
I like your observation there. Understands the game, understands positioning, can put himself...
He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Randy Gregory able to record his 5th sack of the season. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
Jake Bailey on now to punt here on 4th down. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. He'll take it at the 42. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and it'll be a short field for the Broncos as they take over 1st and 10. Get a look at Jerry Jeudy as he leads his offense back out there for this next series. He might be on his way to a record-setting performance. So good here. We're only in the 2nd quarter. Oh, a first mistake for him in the ballgame as it's intercepted. Picked up by Javon Holland. And the Dolphins will take over here just shy of the 30. And I saw the pressure coming out, and that just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Tua and the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. Hand off to Achane to begin the drive. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Here's 2nd and 10. Play action. Now it's Tua. This one complete to Jalen Waddle. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Tua now on first down. That one caught by Carter. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. Well, that one was in the air for an agonizingly long time.
Just begging to be picked off, wasn't it? It's one thing if you're throwing a ball like that, trying to throw someone open or lead them into an area. But that ball needed to be thrown with a lot more conviction. As a result, it's an easy interception.
Try to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, these defensive backs have been getting torched all game long. And finally, a small measure of revenge here. That time the coverage downfield is excellent. And they're right there to battle for the football and force the incomplete pass.
Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. He's got a man. Complete. Now he's into the clear again. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Russell Wilson now with 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And the Broncos have taken a 6-touchdown lead. All the talk when Russell Wilson came into the league about his height, you know, those big defensive linemen, can he get the ball over him? Well, you get him outside the pocket like that, doesn't really matter.
No, it really doesn't, and you're exactly right. Many people dinged him for that and said, how's he going to see over NFL linemen? He never did, right? At whatever level, he saw through them and found pockets and windows to throw the football. But as you noted, when he's outside the pocket and his vision is totally clear, oh, look out, because he's going to find someone downfield, as we just saw there.
Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And Wilson is perfectly content to bring this out to the 25, a touchback. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
In motion, Hill. Oh, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And that is not fooling anyone. He never had a chance to turn the corner there. And they'll go backwards right away. Pat Surtain getting down from his corner spot to make that play.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. He'll get that one to Carter, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Tua now on first down. Throw over the middle, going to be caught here by Mo Alley-Cox. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. From midfield, here's Tua. Wilson's got it complete. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. In motion, Hill. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And he stopped immediately there. Patrick Surtain, the all-pro corner, up to make the tackle. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Kohlman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. Tua's throw here into the hands of Jones.
Partner, took a while for him to lock onto a receiver, and he finally found his man coming left to right across the formation. But by the time he got the ball to him, not much of a chance to turn upfield and make anything out of it.
That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 31-yard line. Looking to pass. Tua. They set up the screen. Achane has it. Heck of a broken tackle and able to work this down near the 23. 7 yards there on the first down screen play. Now 2nd and 3. Tua setting up shop to throw again. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. It's picked up by the Broncos. Charles, he lost a fumble last week as well. So now back-to-back weeks, maybe you expect that from your tailback, but not him.
You're exactly right, because you work a lot with your running backs about how they have to protect the ball in traffic. But downfield, in open space, that's dangerous as well, because you may make someone miss, and their flailing hand can knock the ball away if you don't tuck it away.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. Steps away to his left. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Jeudy. Touchdown! Jerry Jeudy, his 21st touchdown of the season. And the Broncos will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Dolphins taking over now late in this first half. Things for them, just to put it bluntly, man, it has been tough sledding here in the first half, facing that big deficit. The clock is dwindling now. Maybe if they can get something on the board here before intermission, they'll have at least a little momentum heading into the second half. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. Back-to-back catches here for Carter. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Hang on now. We're going to pause here. We've got an injured player. We'll get an update when we come back to Hard Rock Stadium. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Here's Tua. That one complete to Myles Gaskin. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Tua going to throw. A short throw. This is caught by Cox. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they get 5 there on 3rd and 2. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and they will remain well behind.
It's hard to be surprised in the miss there with the way this first half has gone. Here they were hoping to get some sort of momentum to carry them into the locker room, but even this doesn't pan out.
Final play of the half. It's Wilson. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. So that would have been something from that distance, but to no avail. Comes up empty as we have reached the intermission. As we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Kohlman at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Time to give you folks at home a look around the NFL on this first official weekend of fall. So let's get to it. We'll begin up at US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. And that's been a back-and-forth game, all tied in the second quarter. Next, let's get over to Baltimore to check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And they trail the visiting Colts as that one's gone to the intermission. Isaiah McKenzie, well over 100 yards with 2 touchdown catches to boot. Finally, we head to the shores of Lake Erie. See what's going on with the Cleveland Browns. As you can see, the score there in the second quarter. Elijah Moore, a touchdown reception. In our game has been Russell Wilson, who was dynamic, as usual, in that first half. His 5 touchdown passes have him on a record pace. As for the call of the second half, we'll turn it back over to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. Forced out to his left. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Down the left sideline. Touchdown, Broncos. Jerry Jeudy, 72 yards. And the Broncos come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter. Even though he was forced from the pocket, still able to adjust, make the long throw, and it ends with a really big touchdown.
Yeah, moving to his left. The key to everything when they're moving outside of the pocket, doesn't matter which side, making sure those shoulders get around and you get back square so you can get everything on the throw and create the big play we just saw there downfield.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. No return here for Wilson. To touch back, it'll come out to the 25. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
Tua wants to throw it on 2nd down. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
Well, after incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, it certainly seems like a reflection of what we've seen so far in this game. The defense, quicker to the punch so far. Let's see if they can get something going here on 3rd down.
From the gun, it's Tua. And that's incomplete.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the 3rd quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
Taking it about the 36. A nice return that time of about 14 yards. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10. And the focus shifts back to Jerry Jeudy and his Bronco teammates. A monster game so far, 3rd quarter. He is lighting up the stat sheet.
And so many times when you see these types of games, you hear about the quarterback, or we talk about the quarterback throwing guys open, putting it in the right spot. How about some credit for the receivers,
Absolutely.
though?
That's caught inside the 20. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. It's a gain of 35. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. To throw is Wilson. Keeps himself, but now he's swallowed up and taken down. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now it's Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete. That time he was looking for Jerry Jeudy. 3rd down here. Here's Wilson. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Now Brett Maher for the field goal try. From the left hash, this from 39. The kick by Maher is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So tack on 3 more, though it's just a rare drive where they did not find the end zone.
Yeah, you're right about that, partner. But at this point, I don't think you're too concerned about that. You just want to possess the football for a while and drain the clock. If you can get 3 out of it, that's great, too.
And Wilson is perfectly content to bring this out to the 25, a touchback. Miami set to take over. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. The Dolphins will send out the punter now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And it's fielded at the 34. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And they will take over 1st and 10. Get a look at Jerry Jeudy as he leads his offense back out there for this next series. And we get a peek at the kind of game he's having. It's been a good game. 8 catches now, Charles.
Everyone likes to spread the ball around. They want a lot of people to catch it and touch it, get a lot of guys involved. But sometimes when you have the hot hand or a person who is just really taking care of business in their part of the field, you have to keep going back to them.
Now Wilson on first down. This will be caught. Jeudy. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Wilson being chased out left. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Jeudy. And it'll be incomplete. Good job staying with him defensively. And it'll bring up 2nd down. Throwing is Wilson. And that is incomplete.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. That's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
And that nearly intercepted. Well, for a guy known for his hands defensively, that's a ball he probably thinks he should have come up with. But instead, it's 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. He'll let this go for the end zone. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Broncos unable to convert here on 4th. And the Dolphins' defense is able to hold. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Well, the disparity in this game, it just seems to grow with each possession here, Charles. They are really struggling. They have not put up a single point, and on the other side, the points keep piling up and up and up.
So you know the frustration level has to be rising, right? So they've got to find a way to quell that because otherwise they certainly won't get anything done in this one. Keep diving deeper into the offensive playbook. The bottom line is don't quit competing.
On 2nd down, a run by Achane. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. They're backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. Out of the gun on 3rd down, here's Tua. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by Josie Jewell. Then it's a huge return as he brings us all the way back down to the 15-yard line. He's on quite the interception run. He had 2 last week, another one here. Remember, he's not a DB, he's a linebacker.
But how many of those linebackers started as DBs and pumped themselves up into being linebackers? So the ball skills are the same, right? The coverage skills and responsibilities are the same, and he is paying it off in a big, big way.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Now Wilson. And the pass is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Jerry Jeudy. A 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Broncos take the interception on defense and convert it into 6 points. A familiar refrain, a turnover leads to a touchdown, and that lead grows even wider now here in this 3rd quarter.
Yeah, partner, I'd say there are a lot of grins breaking out on that sideline because, let's face it, they came in thinking they were in for a real fight in this game, but this one's been about as one-sided as we've seen in a while. In addition, if you're a backup, time to start stretching and loosening up. You may get some playing time in this one.
Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. No return here for Wilson. It's a touchback. It'll come out to the 25. Dolphins offense returning to the field. It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. The turnover on the last drive, they had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't want to admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give them a short yardage situation here for second down. They'll look to throw here. That's going to be caught by Waddle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 17 yards is the pickup there for number 17. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 49-yard line. Off of play action, Tagovailoa. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. Back to throw again. He'll drop this one underneath the gasket. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Josie Jewell. And the Broncos will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line.
Well, it certainly feels like this defensive group has figured this guy out to the tune of a big lead in this one. And you know that he's frustrated with how this game has gone. And now with back-to-back interceptions, he's got to find a way to get out of his own head and start making better plays.
Good starting field position for him as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. Now it's Wilson. Open man downfield is Judy. He's got it. Touchdown. Jerry Judy, 55 yards. And the Broncos get another 3rd quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. I don't even know what to say anymore. I mean, I've lost track of how many times he's been in the end zone. This is just flat unbelievable.
Doesn't matter whether you have an abacus, a calculator, just old-fashioned pencil and paper trying to total it up. The number is staggering. What a performance. This man knows how to find the end zone and make it count.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And Wilson is perfectly content to bring this out to the 25, a touchback. And out come the Dolphins now. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
On 1st down, Tagovailoa. And the Broncos get there and take him down. DJ Jones. What an effort from him on that play. Big tackle for a loss of 11. That's number 4, sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. Under pressure, they got him again. Randy Gregory getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
this defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Miami. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. First down, Wilson. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And that is caught. Boy, how about that one? He reeled it in one-handed for a touchdown. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back through the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds, so really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. Well, you don't see that often. He just mishit it, and it goes out of bounds.
Well, I know sitting up here, and I'm looking at you, and you're looking at me, and I know we're both thinking the same thing. Isn't it easy enough to keep it between the sidelines? Because unless you're intentionally doing it for some reason, well, that's a costly mishit, and now you put your team in a bad spot.
Setting to throw on first down is Tua. On the throw led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss. And they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down. The Dolphins will send out the punter now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. And Denver getting set to take the field. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone.
And got his man complete. Now he's loose again. Touchdown, Broncos. Jerry Jeudy, 87 yards. And the Broncos are closing in on a 3rd straight victory to start the campaign. As that lead just swells and swells. Look, this has been dominance in all 3 phases, offense, defense, and special teams.
So don't we have to give a lot of credit, not just to what we've seen today, but the preparation in advance, coaching staff, commitment by the players to the game plan, and being ready to go in this one, you're exactly right. Clean sweep, and boy, they're going to celebrate this one after it's over.
And on the other side, this is the game film you just flush and never go back and review. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the fourth quarter. This would be their third straight defeat. Tua and the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10 at the 20. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
On 2nd down, Tua. Throw left side complete. That's Carter. Justin Pugh, the left guard that time with a flag. Now after the holding call, here's 2nd and 20. Tua sets up to pass it. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Alex Singleton. And they're set up in a golden position here right around the 10-yard line. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And, gosh, you look up at the scoreboard. They just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. 2nd and goal from the 1. Here's Wilson. Flush to his right. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Russell Wilson taking it in from a yard out. And the Broncos continue to run up the score. They lead it big here in the 4th. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. It's been a tough go for them. It's still without any points here in the 4th quarter. And a big deficit, Charles, but they moved the football on some drives. They just haven't had any points.
Yeah, and I know in their minds they're thinking the game plan has actually been working. We just haven't scored points. Well, isn't that the bottom line, partner? To put points on the board? So if you're moving it and you're not scoring, is it really working? Right now, they've got nothing left to lose. They might as well go for broke.
He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Tagovailoa going to try and throw on 3rd down. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down, and he'll have it by plenty as they're able to keep the drive alive on 3rd and inches. Now Tua. He'll get this out wide to Gaskin. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphin shaking up on the play. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami. From the 46, here's 2nd and 3. Tua to throw again. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. DJ Jones able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. On 3rd and long, it's Tagovailoa. Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete. Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Buying time to his left. And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. Here's Wilson to throw. Rolling to his left. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
And now, of course, all scoring plays are reviewed, and I think they're going to take an extra long look at this one. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mentioned in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while. But everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. 2 and now on 1st down. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. He'll get that one to Carter complete. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. 3rd down and 1. Again, they will throw it with Tagovailoa. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Randy Gregory. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon. The decision made for him. They've got to go. It's 4th down. They're going for it. Here's Tua with it. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And he will take it across midfield and down to the 45. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Buried behind the line by Christian Wilkins. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Oh, Wilson going to throw. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. Now Wilson. He's got it at the 15. And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the 1st. Charles, when you look at the stat sheet, you realize that both sides of the ball were so dominant in this game. And on offense, not only did they score it, but they did it through the air as well as on the ground. Everything was working.
And you know that the guys who scored the touchdowns, who contributed that way, that threw them or ran them, they're going to find our cameras and have a big grin for them. But I hope our cameras find that offensive line. How versatile were they? Move the ball on the ground, move people so they could run it, and then protected their passers so they could throw it.
So for Denver, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to the Windy City to take on the Bears. Meanwhile, for Miami, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head up to Orchard Park to take on the Buffalo Bills. That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. And with that, we sign off from Miami.
Run it back.
Yeah.
Run it back.
Run it back, 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 run it back. Lost everything I ever wanted it back. Got a problem, never run from that. Have fun with that. Get the W, then double back. That shit. Watch how I react. Fight back, stay down. Now we taking off.
Diego.
I'm with the cash like Diego.
God. Yeah, all these dumps on me go, just like Diego. God. Yeah, all these shooters on me just go, just like Diego. God. Yeah, got a dime piece with me, she gon' go just like Diego. God. Yeah, they don't play with me cause they know that I'm on go, no Diego. Solitaire. Earrings, they be shining, keep them blinded. Ain't met up, yeah, I can't. Since I got rich, and she say I'm just cause I took her on the island. The money keep on piling. Talk to me, yeah. Better talk nice. Fell in love with the fettuccine, they both dead, can't talk twice. Now they praying my downfall, everything I do, I gotta walk like. Let them in, jacket off, what? Rich, so I'm off life. God. Yeah, all these dumps on me go, just like Diego.